it's just really top heavy. Like I think they have 3 in the top 20 with Bichette, Guerrero being both in the top 10, being 1 and 9. That's your two left side of the infield though. So that's really big and a quick start, especially since you're going to lose Donaldson, which at this point is better than anything.
Could he be a Red Sox August waiver move? Donaldson?
Who?
Josh Donaldson.
Oh, could he be?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think the Red Sox should or need. I mean, I love Donaldson, but I think right now he's kind of useless, to be honest. I'm not sure how often he's seen the field this year, but I think there's if you're looking for a third base step to kind of, I mean, with Devers on the DL and even when he comes back, just to give him some guidance, I think it's a better option would be Adrian Beltre to kind of mentor Devers once he comes back.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to leave though.
So stuck on.
I think
Beltre.
that Beltre wants to stay in Texas though and finish his career there, so that might be a roadblock.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider him to be an option at this point because that move would have been made, last week or whatever. But it's
a really good question, Terry. Like, it's actually an op-ed. I mean, would you want to give up anything for that? It's like Dave says all the time. He's a bad fielder. He can't throw anymore, and he's not doing anything at the plate. So,
I don't think he's of serious value. I mean, it shouldn't cost at the very most more than what we gave up for Kinsler, if even that. So.
We're already so dry as it is too. Like,
I think if the Red Sox are going to make a waiver trade move or any more waiver trade moves, I think it's going to be for a bullpen arm.
Yeah, left-handed, preferably bullpen arm.
Exactly, and I think they're pretty content with what they have in terms of infield depth. I know they're kind of thin right now because of injuries, but once all those guys get back, Kinsler, Devers, I mean, they have. I mean, you're gonna have Eduardo Nunez coming off the bench, which he should be, but that's a pretty decent bat to be coming off the bench, especially with his knee finally getting close to back to 100%. So that's a pretty good infield in terms of depth-wise, and also. I don't know what their plans are with Durbin Feldman, but there's a possibility that he could come up also.
He's going to be a rock star.
What?
He's going to be a rock star as soon as he.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think he could be the closer of the future for the Red Sox, to be honest.
100%.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll go waiver for. I mean. We're probably not going to make any waiver moves at all, but you mentioned Feltman. That's a very intriguing possibility. Another guy, is it Travis Lakins, that's just mowing everyone down in AAA as we speak?
Is he a lefty?
Oh, I don't know if he's a lefty. My bad. But it's another arm. I honestly don't have his profile up right now, but...
Lakins?
Yeah.
Lakins is... Damn, he's only 24 years old. That's awesome. Why don't you show me a hand? He throws right. So, I mean, that doesn't really solve the problem, but he is mowing down people in AAA.
Too, so, I mean, you're still missing that left-handed bullpen arm. It's a shame that Robbie Scott couldn't fulfill his potential.
Yeah, I just gagged a little.
What?
Robbie Scott's, like, the worst.
I know. It's a shame. I mean, in the show, he's decent.
Yeah.
Doesn't count, so.
Game 2, Terry?
Well, we didn't really talk about the pitcher we're facing, who...
Mark Stroman? Or
no, Mike Hochschild, and he
was just cut by the Astros July 30th, by the way.
Oh, really? Is that where he came from?
Yep.
And
just got cut by the Astros July 30th. Picked him up 3 days ago. I think he pitched 6 innings in his debut.
Okay, scoreless innings. So those guys tend to make me a little nervous.
Understandable.
I wasn't so worried about Chase Adams because I just felt like we had the momentum, and Evaldi was, coming off a good start. So we'll see. And Johnson, who knows? Like I said, it could be a dick measuring contest and a high scoring game on both sides, but we'll see. Game 2, Rick Porcello. Be interesting to see what he does off of that.
Game 3.
Oh, does he? I skipped. Yes, you are right.
Yeah,
oh my God!
Game 1.
I am all botched. Okay,
the worst pitches on Tuesday.
We were talking about Game 2 that whole time because the first one.
That's why you were confusing me. I was like, "What's going on?"
Is Drew Pomeranz against Marcus Stroman on Tuesday, and
that's just a bad pitching matchup. Like that could be like 11-10.
It could be. You're right. We got a fresh bullpen, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
More like 10-5.
Stroman's like a big fucking disappointment. I thought he was going to be an ace like a few years ago. And
he had ace potential. He was there.
Yeah, and he just doesn't have the strikeouts, and he just gets knocked around a lot. Him and Archer, have a lot in common.
I have a weird thing with pitchers that wear single-digit numbers too. I'm like, you shouldn't be wearing that number. It just makes me nervous for some reason. But Blake Snell wears it, and he's like the only successful one that wears a single-digit number at this point.
I remember when David Wells was on the Sox, he wore it, and he sucked, and then he switched to a two-digit number. I think he switched from 3 to 30.
Yeah.
So you just put a 0 on the side of it. I never made that observation, and that's interesting because, Lester was 31, Pedro 45, Schilling was number 38, Beckett was, 19? Yeah. So I totally get that, and that's going to freak me out from now on. Like, we'll have to...
Yeah, it's in your head now.
It is. I'm just fucked at this point. But I don't know. Palmer's could surprise us, can't he?
No.
This is the return of Drew.
Yeah, Drew is back in full form. He had the most mediocre game the last time out, and everybody was like, "Look at Drew." I was like, "No."
I got some numbers up here in Toronto.
Like when your kid brings home C's.
Toronto murders him. Smoke is hitting .417 against him. Russell Martin probably won't hit him, but he's .333. Teoscar Hernandez, in the short time he's been there, hitting .400. So, yeah.
Has Gurriel seen him?
What's that?
Has Gurriel seen him?
No.
Second baseman?
Nope. No, he has not.
That would be the guy to do the damage.
And they have Brandon Drury now. So, he was in the Hap deal, wasn't he? Yeah, I see him on the roster. So he'll be in the lineup. He always really kind of fascinated me, but
he was a great D-back.
Yeah, he did. They all overachieved though. Yeah, and now Liam, I guess, is going to have some shoulder surgery, and which is unfortunate. And what's his name there? That utility guy had a really good year last year till he had a hand injury or something. What's his name? He's a shortstop sometimes.
Scratched Gurriel, by the way. He's on the 10-day DL.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Well, fortunately for
us. There's
us.
a bullet dodged.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I forget who that was on the Diamondbacks. He's not having a good year this year, though. But that young core from last year just isn't performing.
I think he went to Coastal Carolina. I just can't think of his name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the guy that's forgettable, apparently. All right. Last game of that series on Thursday. I like how they're all night games, so I don't have to miss any of them. Rick Porcello versus Ryan Borucki, and if I remember right, we kind of did a number on him. The one start he had, I think.
He's got a 2.3 this year.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay, and he's pretty lights out in his last 3. Not even a 1 ERA. So, okay, yeah. So he doesn't strike out a lot of guys, though.
Yeah, he's one of those not weird ones, right? Because it's not weird if you don't strike out, but he's one of those like unicorns that doesn't just power people over anymore.
Yeah, kind of like Uehara, but a starter. Uehara was a unicorn. But, yeah.
Not a whole lot to say on this series. It's a 3-game set with a team that's, limping to the finish line, basically.
Right.
And I feel like no matter what team the Red Sox faced after this weekend, it was going to be, like, a chill, like, calm, not much going on type of series.
Right.
Besides the Philly series.
Well, we are a little thin, though, so that does concern me. The Red Sox apparently need to reevaluate their hamstring program. Kinsler, Swihart,
really,
Devers, all hamstrings. So, and that's all
bad enough to go on the DL.
Right, and they're all infielders. So, we're bitching about Holt being 1 for 15. So that kind of sucks. And Nunez, ideally.
He's healthy, though.
What's that?
That at least he's healthy, though. It's Brock, so.
Yeah, well.
He could fall apart at any second.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, he doesn't have a good track record of staying healthy, but. Swihart, they're all infielders, so, we might see some Zue Lin in there or whoever they called up, but Devers must be getting ready to come back. I would expect he'll be the first back out of that bunch anyway.
Yeah, I heard Devers and Kinsler were taking ground balls today.
Okay.
Swihart, I think since Vasquez is on the DL, which we forgot, and apparently Matt Vasgersian forgot as well.
I forget that he's on this baseball team at this point.
He's right, exactly. But Swihart has been catching most of the time
which is great.
Which is great. I love to see that. But it really sucks that Swihart went down because he was hitting really well. And it's just like, unfortunately for Swihart, it's just another thing after another. Like in 2015, he played the outfield, slides in the wall trying to make a catch, breaks his ankle, and he's out for the next year. And he's down in AAA last year, and he was hitting well when that happened too. So just like another bad break for him, and it sucks because I want to see him do well, and he's finally got his opportunity, and now he's injured again. So.
Right, yeah, and hopefully this is just a little bump in the road. Look at what the Yankees are dealing with, and we're kind of still thriving, and I like Swihart, I thought he was a bad defensive catcher, because that's not what I'm seeing, and
pop times are great.
Gary Sampson is behind the plate, that's for sure.
And if pop times, you mean gunning down to second, I saw a stat where he's throwing at 89 point something miles an hour, and Vasquez only 80, so it's a 9 mile an hour difference.
Well, that Swihart, actually, he was drafted as a shortstop out of high school. And the Red Sox asked him to move to catcher, so catcher isn't even his natural position.
That's why he doesn't call games as well as the other two, basically. But he's starting to get a hold of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he must be, because we're winning when he's.
I kind of want to expand. I don't want to give up Chris Sale's Cy Young chances, right? But I kind of want him to catch Chris one game and just see how that goes as an experimental thing. Because,
and I agree. And I think with this size of a division lead, assuming that it doesn't get back down within 5 games again, I think it would be a good opportunity when Chris Sale and Swihart come back for them to try that out, just to see how it works.
It's Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it once, but I mean, Sandy